Hello and welcome to the shop. Recently I did a video about making magic wands, and as soon as I finished the wand, before I even started editing the video, I already had it in my mind that I could make the wand a little bit longer and turn it into a band conductor's baton. And I started working on that. Now when I released the video of the wand, someone noticed that and thought the same thing and said, hey, you could very easily make a baton. And then there were some comments about, no, you've got to be careful. Batons have to be a certain length and a certain weight, and sometimes they have cork handles to absorb sweat. And there are so many technical details that go into making a baton. And I already had the thing laying on my table, so I really went back and forth whether I should release the video or not, because I'll be honest, I know nothing about batons, and all those technical details, they escaped me, and none of them apply with the baton that I made. But I did make the project, and it was fun, so I thought, why the heck not? I'm going to go ahead and put the video together and show it to you guys, and there may be some controversy, but please bear in mind, this is not an official size and weight conductor's baton. This is a strictly for fun project, and I really had a great time making it, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. For the front part of my baton, I'm going to be using a piece of box elder, and this box elder does have a little bit of flame to it. I think it should be really pretty. The overall length is about 15 inches, so I'm hoping to get somewhere between 14 and 14 and a half inches out of this piece. So I'm going to start by just truing it up. Now that I have my blank trued up, I'm going to come back down to this end and I'm going to take it down to its final diameter. Once I get it to the desired diameter, I'm going to go ahead and sand and finish, and then I'll just continue to move back and do a section at a time all the way to the far end of the blank. I've taken this end of the baton down as far as I desire to go. I'm going to go ahead now and grab my sandpaper and get it sanded, and then we'll finish it. I sanded this section of the blank down to 400 grit, and I applied several coats of thin CA. It's really pretty. You can see some of the flame showing through. I think it's going to make a really beautiful baton. I'm ready to go ahead and move down to this section. I'm just going to repeat what I did here, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when I'm finished. I have the end of my baton finished. I'll move the camera slowly down so you can kind of see. It is 12.5 inches long. So I'm very happy about that. It's got a CA glue finish on it, so it's going to hold up really well. It looks beautiful. The wood is amazing. The only thing I'm sad about is that the flame box elder, let me crank you back to the other end, only showed up down here on the end. I lost all of the flame pattern throughout the rest of the baton. But that's okay, it looks phenomenal. I'm going to go ahead and get it parted off down here, get this end cleaned up, and then I'll get it parted off at the other end, and we'll start working on a handle. I've decided just to use a flush cut saw, cut it off down here at this little nub, and then I'll attempt to sand it over and put a little finish on the end of it. So let's see how this works out. Rotate it a little bit. It's very delicate. A lot of flex in this baton. All right, perfect. Let me get my tailstock out of the way, and I'm just going to sand up the end, sort of round it over, and put a little finish on it. I've got the end of the baton sanded and finished. It looks really nice. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off at the back end and start turning the handle. I measured the end of my baton, and it turned out to be 15/64 of an inch. So I chucked up the proper size bit, and I found a really nice piece of Bethlehem olive wood. So I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole somewhere between a quarter to a half of an inch deep into the olive wood, and then I'm going to go ahead and fashion this into a nice little handle. I want to find the center of my blank, and that way I can taper from the center down to the ends. I'm happy with the shape. What I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the tailstock back and get this sanded up, and I'll get a finish put on it. And then I'll build a jam chuck so I can flip this around and clean up and take care of the back end. Got my handle sanded down to 400 grit, and I've cleaned it off with some denatured alcohol. I'm ready now to apply a little CA finish. I'm going to treat this handle just like I would treat an ink pen in the way that I finish it. It's going to get quite a few coats of CA, somewhere between 8 to 10 coats. Then I'm going to micro mesh it and I'll polish it up. I've built a jam chuck and I've got everything ready to go. Now I'm just going to turn away this block and then clean up the end of my handle. I've got her sanded down to 400. I really like how it looks. I like the feel of the blank. I'm going to get some CA on the back end here, get it polished up, and we'll be ready to assemble. I'm ready to glue my baton up, and I'm just going to use a little medium CA glue. I'll put a little bit inside of here. Try not to overdo it. Okay. Looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is just leave it to dry for a little bit. I don't want to use an accelerator because I don't want to affect the finish. I'm just going to set it here and I'll come back in a few minutes and show you what it looks like when the CA is dry. I'd like to thank you for joining me in the shop tonight. And here is a quick shot of the baton that I made. The main shaft of the baton is flame box elder, and there's still a little bit of a flame up in the tip. And the handle was made from a piece of olive wood from Bethlehem, Israel. I'm really happy with it, and even though it's not an official baton, I think I'm still going to allow my son the opportunity to give it to his band teacher if he would like. I hope you like this video. I want to thank you for joining me. I want you to know that you are always welcome in my shop. Come back and see me again real soon.